All right, hello everybody. We are setting up for hole number 7, I believe that is a par 4 that does something at some period of time. Oh yeah, it's the one that you used to be able to go for the green. I don't know if it's going to be set up that way, but you probably are going to need a globe to do it anyway. It'll be interesting to see if it's set up like that. But I'm going to assume that we're going out to the left. Set up my Kingmaker. That's pretty good. We're just going to go at it like this. Same as I've been doing in Master and Pro so far. We're going to do very similarly here. I'm assuming they're not going to just give this a full brutal down towards the hole wind. Yep, it's actually the same wind that I've seen at least once. I don't remember both winds, but I know I've seen this at least once. I do recommend getting it down there to the corner. Using a good side spin ball is also going to be, useful. There you see me going right around 6 to probably 7 rings. It's going to play pretty close to 1 per ring. Much better tee shot than that other one that I tried to do earlier. But you do see that I try to favor the right side. Everything does tend to feed to the left. So if you don't have your momentum of the ball and shot going to the right, you could very well wind up in that left rough. It's much better to be long and to the right. And even if you do, hit it in the rough, especially if you have, a Pak 5, a Pak 6 on, you should have enough angle and you should be able to get out of trouble. So keeping it right is always a good thing, but you don't want to get so aggressive. I forget what division, maybe it was Pro. I believe it was my Pro tee shot that I butchered here, but it took 3 rings to do it. So, that was a pretty big pull that I played on that hole. And here you see, I was much better with my aim. But I do recommend, getting it down as far as possible here. And that's the biggest reason that you see me going with a Kingmaker ball. And here you see this guy also getting it down here far. That's kind of the minimum that I recommend trying to drive it to, is that spot right there where he just did. But you can see that I am very well around the corner, and I can just kind of, side spin this. Won't need any curl, and that's kind of one of the best things about this. And notice what I'm doing with my spin. It's at 2. That's going to give it just enough to run out towards the hole. And here you're going to see the way that I'm setting up, kind of like that. And I'm going to play close to a max ring adjustment, which is 1.1, but it plays uphill. So, going 6 is probably going to be too much. So there you're probably going to see me go, maybe 5.5, somewhere in that effect. And one of the beautiful things about that is, and it looks like I just, so that if that third bounce doesn't hit the green, it doesn't roll out. So I just underplayed that. So it probably was, 6 rings. I probably went a little bit. All that third bounce has to do is just hit the surface, and I just hit the fringe, so you saw it check up. So as long as you get that third bounce onto the green with about 2 backspin, it will release to the hole and give you a nice chance. And this is kind of the reason to make today a practice day, is just to get, these things figured out and worked out. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I don't qualify. But even if you were to qualify, you could just kind of, make a mental note that next time, whatever you did with your ring adjustment, that you could just, add 1 ring and it's not going to cause any harm. So, and part of that has to do with more probably, compression of the, ball guide, more so than, me actually being wrong with my rings. My rings were probably pretty spot on, believe it or not, and probably the biggest problem with my shot was just that they were getting compressed. So keep that in mind, that you have to, kind of go a little bit extra. Pretty much spot on. Max adjustment will probably be pretty straight up. Like I said, it is an uphill approach. I usually take off, I don't have a set number, but it's usually, 10% that I always take off on wherever I am, whether it's min club, max club, mid club. Let's take off at least, 10%. So keep that in mind, and you can see that you'll give yourself a relatively easy holdout option, and being able to do it without needing to curl it is going to help you be very precise with your power, to where you could just kind of set it in the center of the circle and just let it go. So good luck with that hole, and I think you guys will do pretty good. And be on the lookout. Hole number 8 coming up soon.